how can you help students use strategies to figure out the meaning of new words? We'll look at an example from Cool Careers in Green Chemistry. This book introduces students to 12 scientists who work in different fields of green science and technology. In the activity guide for Cool Careers in Green Chemistry, you'll find this language activity. You can use the same approach with other reading materials that contain words with Greek and Latin roots.
Please open Cool Careers in Green Chemistry and flip to page 16. You're going to be reading about a green nanoscientist named Jim Hutchison. But what exactly is a nanoscientist? Tyler, what do you think the prefix nano means?
I think it might mean small.
That's a good guess. Why don't you go ahead and look it up in an online dictionary and see if you're right.
Nano comes from the Greek word meaning dwarf. Nanos, it's 1/billionth of something.
Let's take a look at a famous racetrack, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. If you can please click on the link in your ebook and you'll see a picture of this. Each lap is 4 kilometers long. That's about 2.5 miles. And the speedway is about 1 million times the size of an ant. And you know what? The ant is 1 million times the size of the particles that Jim Hutchison works with. We can use a word web to help us find the meanings of unfamiliar words. I'm going to draw one up here. Now, why don't you guys go ahead and draw this in your notebooks? Now we're going to find out what nano means and some words that can go along with it. Gracie, do you know of any words that start with nano?
We could add nanoscientist.
Fantastic. Why don't you write this in your word web? And based on the meaning of nano, what do you think a nanoscientist does?
I think a nanoscientist studies things that are really, really tiny.
That's really good. Now, as you're reading about Jim Hutchison, you need to go ahead and look for other words that start with nano. As you find them, write them down in your word web, and then write down what you think they might mean. Now, who can tell me some words that I can add to our word web? Anessa?
We could add nanotechnology. The book says Jim uses green chemistry in nanotechnology.
Good job, Anessa. Let's go ahead and put nanotechnology up here in our word web. And Zoe, what do you think green nanotechnology is?
Making tiny things in a way that won't harm the environment.
That's fantastic. You did a fantastic job on our word web. Now that we're done with that, you're going to go ahead and pick one word to research. You're going to find out the applications of the word and the meaning and write it in your notebook. Let's get started.
Determining the meaning of unknown words is just one strategy used throughout the Key Concepts and the Cool Careers series and the accompanying activity guides. You can use them to help students achieve the language skills outlined in the Common Core State Standards. Once students have tried out the strategy here, they can apply the skills to other subjects and texts.